Now let's get to some of your thoughts on our big story from last night. It was investigative reporter Evan Watson at the helm. He took a closer look at a state program that gives landowners elk hunting tags if the animals have been damaging their property. It's aptly called the Damage Tag Program. Now, in the last 3 years, more than 600 of these tags were issued in Clatsop County alone, and one landowner got 80 in that time frame. Now, if you missed the story last night, you can find it on the KGW YouTube page, and boy, oh boy, did you fill our email and voicemail inboxes last night. You feel very strongly, and there's a healthy balance between people who think the program should continue as it is and folks who agree with a viewer named Annette.
We used to watch those elk all the time. They would eat the fruit in the yard, in our trees. I can't tell you how much I miss them and how horrible it is that one wealthy landowner can get 80 plus tags to distribute as he wishes. This is appalling. It needs to stop.
And Heidi wrote in to say, I think it's outrageous that folks would kill these majestic animals who've been living on this earth cooperatively with humans for eons. I'm saddened by the landowners who would choose to kill and not focus on prevention. And the real issue may be they are coming in for food due to the changing climate. There must be another solution.
We really enjoyed having the elk walk by on our property and past our property. They are absolutely fabulous. You can't see anything like this in other places, and the program should be definitely stopped. It's a horrible thing what they did, and it should come to an end. Please do it.
And Kim wrote in to say, these homeowners looks like they're living in probably multi-million-dollar property. If the elk are such a problem for them, build a fence around your property to keep them out. As said, they were here long before these people came. Oy vey.
I think this is nothing more than a culling of the herd. As a hunter, those permits can't be dished out that freely. You know, I know in the Midwest, farmers get permits, but they're allotted so many. This seems like an open hunt to get rid of the entire herd.
All right, thanks for all your comments. But there is another side of this as well, and we did hear from those folks, a few who have actually used the program in the past. A viewer named Steve, who's retired as a dairy farmer in Tillamook County, he says the Damage Tag Program is, quote, wonderful because it worked for him.
This year was the first year in 10 that the herd has not entered our farm or the neighbor's farm. They go around us now. But anyway, it was a wonderful process. It was awful seeing the feed. Just remember this, every load of hay you see going down the road is a $12,000 bill.
And Clint wrote to us to say they are being harvested to provide food for the hunter or donated to those in need and hopefully altering herd behavior to reduce property damage. Personally, I have utilized over-the-counter damage control hunt tags to provide most of the meat my family eats for the last 2 years. I will support this program long before I will choose to eat feedlot-raised beef or, heaven forbid, corporate-raised poultry. And Wayne says his family saw the damage that elk can do firsthand as he grew up on a farm north of Hillsboro. My father stopped raising beef due to fence damage from large herds coming through his property, and he also stopped raising grain crops due to the extensive crop damage that occurred. I think the Damage Tag Program is a great way to manage excessive numbers of game animals that are causing property and economic loss to landowners. And then there's this from Joe. Leave wildlife management to ODFW. When the general public tries to manage wildlife through ballot measures like prohibiting hunting bears and cougars with dogs, all kinds of problems occur. Let the educated wildlife biologists do their job. Thanks for all your feedback. We really do appreciate it. We really do read every email, and we listen to all your voicemails. Along with all the elk feedback, a few of you also remarked on our little programming change from last night.
Don't know what prompted you to not have any commercials tonight, but I just wanted to tell you I was absolutely delighted with that decision. If you could do it more often, I would back you 1,000%.
Thank you. I heard that from a lot of people, actually. And Gail wrote in to say, really liked not having to listen to commercials during the story, but we're wondering why and how long is that going to continue? Well, as far as why it happened, that's kind of above my technological understanding, but let's just boil it down to say that when technology works, it's great. And when it doesn't, it is not great. We had to adjust on the fly last night when we found we couldn't play any of our commercials. Fortunately, it only lasted for about an hour here at KGW, and now we're back to running commercials. Coming up.